Well, I'm Matthew Spate. I'm the Managing Director of Co-op Funeral Care.
My name's John O'Driscoll. I'm the Head of Retail Governance and Insurance at the Co-op. I am a husband, brother. I'm the eldest of 4 children. Quite into sports, so I like to go running. Used to like to do a lot of cycling, but it's got a bit too dangerous out on the roads.
So I'm here to talk to you about mental health, primarily because of a story from last year with one of my direct reports who had some personal challenges, but equally recognising the importance of this topic more broadly and actually talking about it.
Last October, I had effectively what I kind of refer to as a buckaroo moment, where everything got on top of me a little bit and I basically just kicked out and knocked all the pieces off. I'd been down to London one weekend to visit friends from university, and when I got back, I'd just finished one big project in work. There was another one coming on, and I simply couldn't really face going in on Monday. It felt like everything was on top of me.
It just wasn't really being himself. And that sort of manifested with John just being a bit more reserved and just struggling to sort of, crack a smile really.
There were lots of signs and symptoms that were there that arguably people didn't confront me directly with, because that's kind of not the done thing a lot of places. Simply speaking to people about how I was feeling was almost revelatory. I got into a position where I'd internalised the fact that this was a sign of weakness, to admit that I was having a hard time. It's the opposite.
It's important to recognise that it's sometimes okay not to be okay.
We're all people coming to do a job at the end of the day, and we have family lives and all sorts of stories going outside of work. And if we can't share some of that, and if we can't almost unburden ourselves with a bit of honesty, then it makes it extremely hard to keep performing and keep working in a really positive way.
But it was a tough time for John. My job was just to support him through it, just provide an ear, support and general reassurance really.
I found support in the Co-op in a number of places. There was obviously my immediate line manager who arranged some follow-up support for me and some CBT. There was a LifeWorks service which again gave telephone counselling opportunities, and there's a range of materials that you can find on the internet to help with that as well. The other thing was informal support, so colleagues just simply being a bit more inquisitive and asking how I was doing without being too incisive. There was the ability to share on a daily basis. I'm having a bad day today, this is what I think will help me get through it. Because in the past I would have just put my head down and ploughed on. Actually having those conversations with people and saying this is how things are was probably the most influential form of support that I kind of experienced really.
There's a lot going on under the surface, and what you don't know is everyone's story. But when you know people's story, sometimes it helps you relate to them and helps you support them in the workplace better.
There remains a stigma around mental health. It's not like physical health where sometimes you can see that someone is ill, and in a competitive workplace it can be a little bit inhibiting to talk about. So I was just keen to say, as a leader within the organisation, this is my story, and hopefully encourage others to share their experiences.